Now I go off and I come back as Hacksaw after, I don't know, probably 4 years before I learned what I was doing before I developed Hacksaw. And I come back in and we renew our friendship. And so I open up a gym in Florida. You know what? Don't do it, brother. Everybody stings like, don't do it. I'm like, oh, it's red, white, and blue. It'll go good. But I opened up my gym in Titusville, Florida. Hacksaw Duggan's Muscle and Fitness. Forget trademark, Muscle and Fitness. That was a magazine back in the day, right? But anyway, for my grand opening, because I lived on the East Coast in Titusville, over by the Space Center, Cape Canaveral. And everybody else, Hogan, Macho, everybody lived over by Tampa. So very seldom you would have a day off. Everybody's working all the time. On their day off, Hogan, Macho, Beefcake, and the two Nasty Boys drove all the way about 3 hours over to Titusville, came to my house. I had my pop with me. My pop, he was my best man in my wedding. I had my pop with me. We got one limousine. We all piled into the limousine, Hogan's jammed in there. We drive. We had the mayor, the whole town turned out for the grand opening. That was huge. Knobs gets out of the car. He picks up the mayor. It was great television. It really was. We get done. We all come back to my house. I give everybody submarine sandwiches. Thanks, fellas. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
What a sign of respect, though, from those guys, right?
What a hell of a payoff, man. But they knew that going in, man. I mean, Macho, I got along good with Macho. Beefer, I think he came along just for the ride, and I got along good with the Nasties. But yeah, so so now there's another example, right? I get with Hogan. He opens up my gym. Now we're towards the end of the career. And now later in my career, I used to get my 3-point stance, my finish. I'd walk around the ring, set up. I learned that from Dusty Rhodes. He'd walk around, he would do something different. I can't remember. But walk around telegraphing to the people what you're going to do. You telegraph to them. I get down to that 3-point stance. The bad guys stand up. Here I come. I run and I dive. Boom. And I dive and I take the guy down. And when I did it one time, I stuck my left leg out a little too far. I tore the cartilage. So, little side story. I did it I think in Dallas, and all my college football friends were there. Had 4 or 5 offensive linemen who were still buddies. So we go back to the hotel. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely torn. I'm going to have surgery, right? And they're all like, oh, that's bad, Duggan. Yeah, Duggan, that looks bad, brother. Wouldn't have surgery. That's too bad. Too bad. There's a knock on the door. Door opens up. Jake comes in. Hey, Duggan, can you do this? How about this?
That sounds about right.
All the guys are like, son of a... So it's wrestling humor, fellas. But back to the main deal. So Hogan's like, why do you dive? He says, just run through it. I'm like, well, shit, yeah, why dive? So just run through it. And that saves so much wear and tear on my body instead of diving every time. And we've talked about it after that. It's so ironic that he was the guy that every night would hit the ropes, jump up as high as he could, boom, land on his ass. Spine, hip, knee, everything. Boom, boom, boom. And he won every night, Every night he was doing that. Twice on Sundays, right?
Yeah, so like 7 nights a week.
It's funny that, and plus he had those huge guns. If he had a bear hug finish, it would have worked, or a head lock, to squeeze her head off.
Yeah.
But so there's another one. So then they were doing Hogan and Friends. Was that it? No. Hogan Knows Best. Remember the TV show, right?
Yeah.
So I get a call from Hulk. She goes, "Hey, brother, we're going to do a shoot down in Miami. You want to come down?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'd love to, brother." So they fly me down, Endeavor down, first class. They put us up in the Lowe's Motel, a real fancy day. And I'm like, "Oh, we're staying at Lowe's. What the hell?" They're like, "No, it's a difference." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. They're taking the 2x4 gimmick too far. They put Duggan up at Lowe's.
Like a shed inside the
So,
building.
yeah, we do the Hogan Knows Best episode, and it's Haku's there, and Pete Brian Blair from the Killer Bees. Blair was at the funeral. It was good to see Brian.
He's a good
He
man.
was at the funeral. Yeah, Knobs was there. I can't think of who else, but cell phones had just come out pretty much, right? And everybody was free booze. You know, it's at Hulkster's house in Miami. I mean, unbelievable house. You know, Miami Beach, multi-million dollar home. Anyway, so we're out. Everybody's drinking pretty good. All of a sudden, Aku's like, ah! he grabs Big Brian Blair. Ah! Into the pool. Blair jumped out of the pool. He's like, my cell phone. He had a cell phone with him, but he was like, my cell phone. No big deal.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
That's cool. But anyway, so the deal with everybody got pretty ripped, and he was still married to Linda. And I've known Linda for a while. She's crazy as anybody. I mean, what the hell? I can't believe she can't die. She was at the funeral too. Linda was at the funeral.
Mhm.
But anyway, so Linda comes home. She's all the boys. You know, bad move. Come out, all the boys are drinking by a pool. You know it's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
We talked Linda.
I'm sure Hulk
They loved it. The producer's like, this is great. So we did that. And now a couple of years later, after WCW, I think it was even after WWE, after my WWE run, we're getting late into the career. I get a call from him. He said, hey, we're doing a tour. It's going to be Hulk Hogan and Friends. And I'm like, yeah, sure, brother.
Why
So
not?
he had like a half dozen and maybe a dozen dates around the country. And it was him, Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, Greg the Hammer Valentine, the
I
two
think Flair
nasty
was on it.
boys, myself. There's 5 of us. And we would travel around and go to auditoriums around the country, and we would have Q&A. Right, all the fans would come and they would also have a photo opportunity and autographs and a Q&A. It was a nice little setup, right?
Yeah.
Except for Hulkster. If out of those 6 guys sitting there, and you got a question, who are you going to talk to?
He was getting
Hey
all
Hogan, hey Hogan, hey Hogan, hey Hogan, hey Hogan, hey Hogan. It was like Barbie show. I got 2 daughters. But anyway, he was doing all the work. We're sitting there like, yeah, this is great, Hulkster. You got him, buddy.
Thanks for bringing us, man.
Yeah. You know, so we did a few of those, and then on one of those, I think we were like in New Mexico, and we had like a 7 o'clock flight or something. We're at the airport at 5 a.m. You know, or early, 4th or whatever. It was the the show was at a Indian casino, New Mexico, and they took us to the Chiefs room.
Pretty nice.
We're out there. All the waitresses all looked alike. They all were dressed in like pattern dresses, really, really tight. Had big cigars for everybody, the best whiskeys. So anyway, it's like, hey, we got a flight to catch. What?
Let's not do it. Yeah.
So we get to the airport, everybody feels horrible, you know, everybody's got their sunglasses on. We walk in, and it's the first flight out, so it's pretty crowded in the morning. We walk in, and sure enough, as soon as we walk through the doors, people are like, it's Hulk Hogan! Hey, it's Hulk Hogan! Here's Hulk Hogan! And here they come. And they're like we're up against the wall, they're in a semicircle. Everybody's taking pictures of them, you know. And I was like, come on, folks, give the guy a break. Give the guy a break, man. It's early in the morning. and Hogan's like, "Hey, Hacker, it's just a deal."
Mm-hmm.
We're like, "Wow." I mean, and we all worked to get to that point, but it's a burden. He is the only guy I've ever seen travel with a celebrity. And usually, if you know a celebrity, you land at the airport, you get off, you walk down the jetway. They'll have a golf cart right there ready for you. You know, the celeb will jump on the golf cart, golf will go through the airport.
Yep.
Hogan, you pull up to the gate, door opens, they take him down the jetway stairs onto the tarmac, put him in a car, drive him to the other gate. Because even going on the golf cart, people, hey, that's Hogan, it's Hogan coming. And he was a very noticeable guy. Love him or hate him, he was a big man, and yeah, he stuck out.